you that we have agendas back here on the podium if you'd like to grab one so you can sort of follow along with what we're doing. Tonight is a workshop meeting, and I always like to remind people that the workshop is really for information for the council. We don't vote on anything during the workshop with the exception of our agenda. So I didn't want anyone to be confused if you didn't see us voting this evening. We'll do that on the third Monday when we have our regular council meeting. But our first order of business is a public hearing for the Community Development Block Grant. So I'll turn that over to Jessica, and she'll get that public hearing started, and then we'll work on it. We'll move right on into our council workshop agenda.
Good evening, council and community. The City of Tifton is considering applying for a 2024 Community Development Block Grant application. This grant is primarily used for to benefit low to moderate income families and used for activities such as housing, public facilities, infrastructure improvement, and economic development. For the FY 2024 CDBG funding, the city has selected Grant Specialists of Georgia as the grant administrator and is proposing to submit an application for up to $1 million for housing rehab in the South Tifton development area. I did provide y'all the target area again, and all the proposed funding will benefit 100% low to moderate income families, and the city will adhere to all the fair housing laws. And the city does not foresee any conflicts of interest, and the proposed application is seeking public input on our proposed application. And the grant application is due April 5th. And do we have any public comment? And we also have our grant administrator here if y'all want to ask him any specific questions. They've been out in the neighborhood doing surveying, talking with the community, so people may have called and said, there's a strange guy, who is he? So if you want to introduce yourself and let them know kind of what y'all have done so far.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. We appreciate the opportunity to work with y'all, and we've enjoyed getting to know the community. Folks out there, we are been working close with Jessica. The previous grant that you do have for housing is a CHIP grant, which we've begun. We've got 2 houses inspected and out for bid on that. Right now, we've got 2 houses I'm in the process of inspecting. They'll be going out for bid probably within the next 2 weeks. The new grant, the CDBG grant, is going to be in the same target area, pretty much, College Circle and College Avenue South. If I get it wrong, forgive me. Getting familiar with the neighborhoods. But we have found 10 owner-occupied homes. People are interested in getting in on the grant. I think the total grant right now for the home repairs is about $730,000. Looks like great participation, great interest over there, and it's really coming along. It'd be nice that the CHIP and the CDBG programs are sort of working in the same area. I think it'll really help the word get around. As I tell people over there, we were talking to folks, what we try to do with the CDBG is put in the information with some pictures and then also a letter from the homeowners. And so as we work in an area between the 2 programs, it kind of builds on itself. People start seeing the house next door get worked on, and so it does kind of build on itself there. So we're already seeing that. So really, again, I think real good success. I think between the CHIP and which we should get around 8 houses out of that program and 10 out of CDBG, we'll see some nice changes being made.
That's wonderful. Gentlemen, do you have any questions about the process or the program itself? You good?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Okay, well, thank you. Thank you for that information. We appreciate that. Thank you, Jessica. Is there anything else?
We don't have any other public comment.
It's closed. We'll close that. Okay, wonderful. Thank you. All right, we'll call to order our council workshop. So, gentlemen, you do have the agenda that Jessica sent out for us a couple of days ago, and that's before you, so I'll take a motion concerning the agenda.
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, thank you. So we have a motion and a second to approve. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? And that does carry. On our presentations, I'm going to call on Jeff West. Jeff is going to talk to us about Tifton's Street Paving Index completed by First Step Paving Management. So, Jeff?
At the council retreat, I told y'all I would come back and do a presentation on this. I wanted y'all to actually see what we got for the money on this. Roberts Engineering actually was the engineering firm that, outside service that come in and done this for us. I just zoomed in a little bit. But I want you to look at all the green. That's all the good that has been done in the city of Tifton for its paving over the last 5 years. Every street in green has been paved within the last 7 years. That's very high percentage for, if you look at the other local communities around here, they don't pave near what Tifton does and have as good a roads as Tifton has. The engineering firm actually said it was one of the best cities they've been to, as far as the way we've approached paving and maintaining the streets. Now, we still got work to do. I think we're getting ready to bid out the 2023. We've got 2024 on deck after that. Hopefully within the next month and a half, the water projects will be done so we can start on the 2023, but we're going to go ahead and bid it out. I think Adam talked with the engineer today about getting that ready to go. But very neat features, and if y'all ever want to look at this, I can get you a log into it, but let's just go look at yellow is still good. Orange really needs to be paved, and this index is what we're proposing to go by on paving streets to make sure we get the worst ones done every year. But you can go to that section and click on it and actually see what they saw. You can see it up there in the side, but see all the cracks and all on that road. That's why that road ranked so low. There's a couple of places that are red, not very many. I'm gonna try to find a red one.
There by Fullwood Park.
That one's on the next paving list.
Good, because that one is bad.
Prince.
Oh, yeah, Chestnut.
But let's do this. That's Martin Drive.
Root busting all up.
Huh?
You can see the root that's busted up.
Yeah.
That's over in my Daily.
But I just want to see y'all, show y'all that we really got our bang for the buck in this. It really helped us prioritize roads. We can, it was an outside service. It wasn't nothing we done, nothing y'all done. So these are the actual worst roads if you look at them that way, and those are the ones we need to focus on after we finish these next two on paving on what's left. And we can update this every time we pave to change stuff green in-house and not have to send it back to them, so we can keep an accurate record of when roads are paved and just keep good records with it. Any questions on it? And I can share this with y'all if y'all want to look at it, so you can log in and you can sit at your computer and look at different roads. And
I think that would be helpful if
it'll
you did
always be
that.
there. Okay.
Let's do that.
All right. Be glad
And,
to do it.
I know you mentioned we were behind. I know, you said we were getting ready to start on the 2023 list.
Yes, because 2023, we had to wait till these roads, the water and sewer work got done on them. They're getting closer. They have stepped it up. They've got 2 or 3 crews in town now, so hopefully within the next month and a half, they'll be done and we can start the paving.
And just to remind the public, what we're doing is what we should have been doing all along. Makes perfect sense to me, is before a road is paved, the water and sewer infrastructure that's under that road is evaluated, and if it needs to be replaced or repaired, that's done before the paving is done.
Yes.
Genius.
I'm excited.
Well,
So,
I can remember over the years, different places I've worked, you go in and you pave a road and 2 days later, you're going and digging it up because
Yep.
they vibrated the road when they paved it and created water leak.
yeah, exactly. So anyway, so that's a good plan, but it does delay, and I know we
Yes.
had delays because of COVID and materials and workers and everything else. So
That's right.
hopefully we can get caught up in the next year or so. But for the public to be aware, we're trying to move things through as expeditiously as possible because we understand, the public definitely we need good roads to drive on it. And so we're working on that. So, all right, any questions, gentlemen, or comments for Jeff? All right, thank you, Jeff.
Thank you.
Yeah, but yeah, if you could email that to us so we could kind
Okay.
of play with it, that'd be great. All right, our next item on our presentation is from WWALS seeking support in opposition of strip mining near the Okefenokee. Jessica, is that something you'll be talking about? And I'm trying to remember I know WWALS is a acronym, but I cannot remember what the acronym is. Okay.
Watershed agency. Ours would be the New River, but it's the watershed in the river area in this region. So, but no, I cannot remember what that stands for. But I sent y'all some links from their website.
Yeah, we got that.
The Swanee River Keeper actually dropped this off last week, and she's requesting the city support opposition of the titanium mining development. It's in Charleston County, and they're encouraging all of the counties and cities in our region to help in protecting the Okefenokee Swamp. And the proposed mine will be located, if approved, it's currently pending application from the EPD at this time. It would be located within 3 miles of the Okefenokee Swamp, and the Swanee River Keeper and the organization believe that it poses potential threats and to our region and our natural resources. I provided the data that they gave me from their website, and also some news articles from I think it was Atlanta Journal-Constitution, AJC, I believe. It's called if you go on the EPD website, it's called the Twin Pines Mining, and they have the draft permits, and they currently are accepting public input at this time. So, the proposed resolution that they drafted is in your packet for y'all's consideration.
Okay.
And I have her contact information if y'all would like to reach out to her and get more specific details.
Okay. I know I've talked to Representative Penny Houston about this and the concern for maintaining natural resources, especially natural resources that are so close to home. So if you've not had a chance, I would encourage you to really read through this. I think it would be important for us to, if the council, with the council's approval, voice our opposition to that titanium mining. I think it could be detrimental to the Okefenokee Swamp, which is such a vast natural resource that's right here close to home, that's so important to us here in South Georgia. So read through that, and then Jessica can provide us with, if you have more information or more detail or some clarification, for the contact information on that. That sounds good to everybody? Good, okay. Okay, all right, thank you. Thank you, Jessica. All right, under new business, I'm gonna call on our Main Street Director, Ms. Hillary Culpepper. She has a request to designate downtown Second Saturday and the Hop Shop events as a festival, and she's got a couple of presentations. She's also gonna do a budget presentation here on her her department here. So Hillary, just move on through. Do what you gotta do.
Well, good evening, everyone. First on the agenda for the Main Street program is I would like for you all to consider the approval of designating our monthly second Saturday events under the festival ordinance. You all approved this last year to make those monthly second Saturday events, like I said, fall under the festival ordinance, so we can allow our restaurants and our businesses that serve alcohol to participate kind of like in a sip and stroll. All of our merchants and businesses thoroughly enjoy participating in this, and of course our community members do as well. Our second Saturdays have really started to take off. Savor the Flavor, Truly reaps the benefit. Don Julio's, they are two of the merchants kind of in the heart of our downtown that, like I said, truly reap the benefit of the second Saturdays, with it being a sip and stroll and people are able to take their alcoholic beverage from store to store. It would be the same process as last year. We would follow that same boundary. So from 5th Street up to 4th Street, over to Tift Avenue, and then to Commerce Way. So it's kind of just like a nice little square around the heart of downtown. Like I said, same process. All of those businesses would receive the Think Tipton Cup and the wristband. They all are familiar familiar with the process of how it works. And it's just every month is continuing to grow and be more and more popular. So asking your approval to make Second Saturday fall under that festival ordinance again. And then also, in addition, making our Ladies Hop and Shop event. This is a new event that the Main Street program we're going to implement on Thursday, March 21st. We would love to see that fall under the festival ordinance as well. It would follow that same guideline as Second Saturday. A lot of the merchants have asked if it could follow under that festival ordinance, and even community members have been messaging us on Facebook, seeing if that's possible. Like I said, this is a new event that we're really excited to implement and see the growth of that impact our downtown community, and hope you all will consider that under the festival ordinance.
Okay, any questions, gentlemen, on the special events? Okay, all right, you want to talk about the budget amendment?
Are we approving the whole year long?
Yes,
Okay, all right,
yes,
I'm just making
that's,
sure.
All second Saturdays to the
Yeah.
end of the year, as well as the Hop and Shop event specific to the
Okay,
21st.
that's good, make it easy.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
yes. Trying to save everybody a little bit of work there.
There you go. We like that.
Yes. And then moving on to my next piece, asking for council to consider a budget amendment for the Main Street program. Hopefully you all have been keeping up with the excitement and the growth of this program. I'm extremely grateful to be able to play such a small part in that. But in 2023 alone, our downtown boundary, we saw over 35 events. 20 of those events were solely hosted and housed through the Main Street program. At the end of this month, at the end of March, our downtown boundary will have hosted 10 events, 9 of those being ran through the Main Street program. So as you can see, we're extremely busy implementing new events. Moving forward through the rest of this fiscal year, I do hope to implement 10 new events in our downtown and our Main Street program. As my role in what this program does is I'm kind of that bridge, I'm that pipeline that connects our community to our businesses and all of the community partners in between. And one of the proven ways that we have seen an increase in participation in business in our downtown community is through events that we're hosting, such as Second Saturdays, our First Friday concerts, and things like the Ladies Hop and Shop event. And so looking forward, we are just seeking additional funding to help with some of these events, such as promotional pieces for the Main Street program. One thing that I would like to share with you all is hopefully you are aware of the local loyalty card program that the Main Street program launched. I kicked that off back in December. I'm not really sure how it would go, and we received 15 cards back. I was kind of hoping for a little bit more participation with that. So we took the month off in January to kind of reevaluate that program, see what I could do better, listen to the merchants, and then in February, we launched that program again. I had a goal of 100 cards being turned in, so that means $10,000 I could track was spent in downtown. And today, I announced that we had 801 cards turned in. So, the proof is in the pudding with the benefit of this program. Through the local loyalty card program, that's data that I'm able to receive and track. I'm able to see if you're a male or a female, where you're shopping at, how much money you're spending there. I also receive your phone number, so I could sign you up for our mass notification system that we're implementing, and I could sign you up to receive alerts about our downtown program and events that we have going on. I'm able to capture your email address as well to sign you up for our e-newsletter. And so you'll see in your packet just everything that I'm wanting to do. I have big dreams and big goals for our downtown community by hosting new events, such as bringing more awareness to our First Friday concert. Last Friday, we hosted our March First Friday concert in Tiff Gardens. And even though the rain was there, we still had over 30 people come out and listen to the music. Cole's Cakery, they really reap the benefit of our First Friday concert as they offer a First Friday boxed lunch for customers to come and grab. And they made over $200 in sales off of that boxed lunch on Friday. So that means 20 people came into their store that they normally would not get if it weren't for this event. So we're really able just to truly see the benefit of this program. And I'm excited to offer these new events and marketing initiatives, and asking for you all to do a budget amendment to make this possible for us. And you'll even see in your packet how we kind of line item what those events would cost, kind of estimated spending that we would do. And if you all have any questions on the events or anything, please feel free to ask. But money-wise, I'll let Larry and Emily answer those questions.
Well, in the executive summary, the recommendation from the finance department is to transfer those funds, so for the $20,355.
That's
So
correct.
that you can cover your advertising. and
Mayor, and
everything.
I would like to add, hotel motel funds is a restricted fund that is a part of our budget. One thing that we can put in is for the Main Street program or the TIFF Theater. To the management team, I'm really challenging this year to provide data-driven results. Tracking those cards, we can now prove that over $80,000 was spent in downtown Tifton. With results like that and building our program, I'm certainly come to the table with Hillary to ask for this amendment to the budget to use interest funds essentially for that and never really touch the hotel motel fund.
Good, okay. Let me ask you a question. Going back to item number 4 on the festival designation, do we need to go ahead and include Rock the Block on that, or is that
We would do
tourism?
that separately.
We'll do that separately, okay. Just wanted to make sure. Okay. All right, any questions of Hillary on either the special events or the budget amendment request? And you can tell she's so unenthusiastic. No,
I'll do better next time.
We're very proud of you, Hillary, and appreciate the work
Thank
that you
you.
do for our downtown businesses. Yeah, absolutely.
I appreciate
Because
that.
that's, these small businesses are the heart of our community. And so to have that little extra assistance and help that they need to make sure that their bottom line is met and that they're successful, that's really important. So thank you for doing that.
Thank you.
All right, any other questions or comments on that? All right. I'm going to call on the one and only Police Chief Steve Hyman. He is going to talk to us about the request for the pay grade adjustments for the police department. We talked about this at our retreat. So, Chief, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you. Mayor, Council, we're asking the council to consider and approve a salary increase for our current officers and cadets. We're also requesting that our starting salary for police officers be increased. Staff recommends the approval of a pay increase of $3 per hour for Tifton police officers below the rank of major, and adjusting the starting salary for certified police officers from $19 to $22 per hour, and uncertified officers from $18 to $20 per hour while in the police academy. This increase will not include the chief, the major, which is assistant chief, or the records clerks, or court personnel, or administrative assistants. As you know, every police agency nationwide has struggled to keep certified officers and find qualified officers to train and send to the academy. We're competing with surrounding local cities, counties, and state agencies and private industry to get officers and to keep them and to get qualified officers. A salary survey, which I should have attached to your sheet there, of agencies around us shows that we are below the minimum norm at our current starting salary of $19 per hour, and other agencies' starting salaries range from $21 to $24. This lower salary range with increased inflation like rent, housing, food, supplies, and basic living has made it challenging for our department to remain competitive in the recruiting and retaining officers. The financial implications, our current FY24 budget has been analyzed. The increase would not affect the current budget due to being understaffed during the year, so it won't affect it. The effect would come in the FY25, and it will have an overall impact on the general fund if we're fully staffed. If we're not fully staffed, then it won't have as big of an impact, but it could have an impact of $828,163. If the $3 starting salary increase is approved for our officers, pay will be adjusted with an effective date of March 25th, 2024, meaning this will be included in the personnel checks payable on April 11th, 2024. The officers receiving this increase will not be eligible for a COLA increase that may be granted in the FY '25 budget. This will help the department attract experienced personnel and remain competitive with other agencies and private industries around us.
Okay. Any questions? I don't think anybody can argue with the need for paying police officers.
I'm a fan because of my father, so.
Yeah. And Mayor and Council, we visited this 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago. We were in the same predicament. We then had to do a pretty large lump sum increase. The ball field we're playing on when it comes to public safety, we were the highest paid agency when we did the increase. Now, as you can see in your salary survey, we are at the bottom. So to do this will help attract and retain, also increase morale for the department.
Okay. All right, any questions, Chief? Gentlemen? Okay. All right, thank you, Chief.
Appreciate
that.
y'all. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, I'm gonna call on our Fire Chief, Bobby Bennett. He is gonna discuss the request for pay incentives for public safety and employees.
Mayor, council, city manager, thank you for this time. We asked the council to consider and approve the pay incentives for public safety officers. This will strategically enhance the overall compensation and morale for public safety as we begin to take on new demands for the community. Proposed action, staff recommends approval of pay incentives for public safety officers who have an EMT certification, CERT team certification, and are bilingual. The EMT certification is going to run $2,000 annually. We currently have 20 that have the certification and 13 are in the process of getting it. So you're looking at around $66,000 to impact the general fund. CERT team, which is based on police and fire, has roughly 18 public safety officers made up a little bit of each. That's going to roughly be around $18,000. So that's $1,000 annually per person. The CERT team does the high-risk warrants, hostage situations if we have any, and active shooter incidents. So we're working as a team on that. It's something we hadn't ever been able to do in the past. So it's a great thing that we're able to do that. The bilingual is 25 cents an hour, and it's citywide. As of right now, police department has 4, the fire department has 4, and the city has 2. And I'm sure that may increase later on as people talk and find out what it's really talking about. A lot of the people that can do it are afraid to say anything because they don't want to be tabbed as the one that can only do that. But it's definitely a need in our community. So, supporting information, public safety as a whole is in a constant battle to recruit and retain personnel. We have to compete with all public safety agencies in our area and also the state. After doing comparisons to departments our size, one of the only parts we are missing is incentives. Public safety is constantly changing and adding more obstacles to adapt in our community. We constantly ask our personnel to obtain more certifications to handle the increase in diversity of our calls. They have taken on this responsibility to take better care of our citizens and have done so in a positive manner. As a whole, we offer better customer service to our community because of them. The Finance Department, along with City Manager, have went over the numbers and know that the budget will be able to meet these challenges in FY25 budget. These financial implications will hit the general fund and will be absorbed in the next budget if approved. This will show our public safety officers that their continued efforts to give the best customer service to our community does not go unnoticed. This will also encourage others to obtain certifications when incentive to do so.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Chief. Any comments or questions, gentlemen? Again, supporting our public safety, that's absolutely the goal of this council. So our firefighters, our police officers are some of our most important people in this community. So it's an honor to be able to help them out through this way. So,
And I must say y'all always have, and I really do appreciate that. So thank y'all.
thank you.
I would just like to reiterate that this will not take effect immediately as we are asking for the certified officer increase. This would be absorbed into the next budget as you approve that budget. But the reason it's coming before you is because anytime we have a change to our compensation plan as far as increasing starting salaries or adding incentives as a benefit package, this has to come before you for approval.
Okay, all right. All right, gentlemen, any questions?
So it'll be this summer?
July 1 is when
Yeah,
it would
the-
start,
the
yes.
next fiscal year. Okay, all right. Next, I'm going to call on Adam Cobb to talk about a resolution for the dedication of Carpenter Place as a public street and accepting that right-of-way deed.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. This street is over off of Carpenter Road, near the Apex Apartments, where Nelson Coons has built out the infrastructure for a new subdivision or industrial park area type location. We need to go ahead and try to request this now because multiple people are starting to look at those properties and for them to be access to city utilities and city infrastructure. That's why we're coming before you now. And so basically it's staff recommendation to go ahead and approve this as a city street so that we can start allowing those people to start building out.
Okay. And that map is in our packet, and all the information supporting that. Any questions of Adam concerning that street? Okay, all right, thank you, Adam.
All right, thank you.
That's good. All right, next I'm going to call again on Jessica for the resolution authorizing the submission of the 2024 Community Development Block Grant that we had the public hearing for.
The proposed resolution was provided in your packet. Again, we're proposing to submit an application for rehab on owner-occupied properties. We see that we're going to ask for $1 million, and the city's commitment's up to around $20,000 right now, $7,500 to. There's a dilapidated house that we're looking at demolishing and also waiving those permit fees. So minimal commitment by the city, and hopefully we'll get an award. It's due the beginning of April, and usually announcements are in October.
Okay, all right. And that's pretty standard for a community development block application. So does anyone have any questions or comments for Jessica? All right, thank you, Jessica. Next, I'm going to call on Emily and Rob to talk about the amendment to the Land Development Code with regard to our zoning board of appeals.
Mayor and Council, we've had this discussion. It's been a part of our goals for a while. As we look at all the boards that do service for our community on a volunteer basis, there's really a lot that goes into those boards. As far as expenses from the city, we have to pay for continuing education to make sure everybody has the knowledge that they need to give an approval or a recommendation of this case in particular, a zoning matter, whether it's a request for a variance or an appeal from City Council. So in looking at that, our Planning and Zoning Board of Appeals has really been underutilized in the previous years. In the past years, we've only used them maybe once. So we're starting to see that this board isn't utilized by the community. Our ordinance make it to where we can approve small administrative variances. We don't have a hard and fast rule. Well, we do, but a lot of times we're able to handle that from an administrative standpoint or to go before Planning and Zoning to handle that. So what we are seeking is to abolish the Planning and Zoning Board of Appeals and then take those duties and responsibilities and put them under the Planning and Zoning Commission.
Okay.
Basically, y'all, this is, the main provisions that we're amending is what used to be the Board of Appeals bailiwick. It's hear and decide appeals where it's alleged there's an error in any order, requirement, decision, or interpretation by the administrator in the enforcement of this chapter. So you look at administrative staff, they make a decision, then that can be appealed to now the Planning and Zoning Commission. The other one is hear and approve or approve with conditions or disapprove applications for variances. That way the Planning and Zoning Commission has taken over those duties that used to be the Board of Appeals. You'll see this morning I went through our Land Development Code and determined what else needs to be changed. In your ordinance, you'll see a lot of other sections that are being changed because we're changing, we're getting rid of the zoning board of appeals and substituting the planning commission. So there's a lot of things that had to change from the ZBA to the planning commission. So when you go through and you see the other sections in the ordinance, that's basically substituting the ZBA and putting in place the planning and zoning commission.
Okay. All right, that makes sense. Any questions, gentlemen, of Emily or Rob on that? Okay, good? Good. Okay, perfect. All right, also in our packet is our board report. We do have a vacancy on the library board, on planning and zoning, and on Keep Tiff Beautiful, we have 2 vacancies. And you can see there's an applicant for library and planning and zoning. No applicants, Jessica, for Keep Tiff Beautiful yet? No, okay.
I did get another one for the Planning and Zoning Commission.
Okay.
I wasn't able, came in last week, wasn't able to see if he actually met the qualifications, but his name was James Jim Robert.
Okay.
I don't know if anybody, asked him was aware of who that was, but, I'll just make sure it looked like, his address, he's
Sure.
located in the city, but I wasn't able to verify his, the other things, mainly being a registered voter.
Sure, okay. All right, so that information is in your packets. Anyone have any questions about that? We won't be voting on that tonight, obviously. I was just saying that information's in your packet for the applicant. We won't be voting on that tonight, obviously. That'll be for the next meeting. So maybe by then you should have the other applicant vetted to see if they're qualified and everything. So, okay. All right, any questions on library board or planning and zoning or Keep Tiff Beautiful? Good, okay. All right, city manager report.
Just 2 things. First off, if you were able to go to the Rhythm and Ribs Festival this weekend, it was a great time. Our ESG crew goes above and beyond, and they certainly went above and beyond this year. Adam and Michael and their crew did a fantastic job at the park. They were there all weekend, so we always praise them. They always do a wonderful job, and they never ask any questions. They just do everything, even the questions that aren't asked. So we really appreciate that. And it's a huge impact to our community. When I left on Saturday, I rode through to look at some car tags to see where people were really from. And there were a lot of people that weren't from here all over the state of Georgia, North Florida. So it's great to see small little Tifton come to life. And to see everybody here. And, the community here reaps the benefits of that, so it's always a great time. And then I'm going to just touch on what Jeff West said during his presentation, the water projects. We met with Popco, who is the contractor doing the work. We met with them Friday morning, I believe. We are 30 to 60 days out. They will be wrapping it up. They are now starting on Tift Avenue. Unfortunately, they're running into the same unknown issue that we had on Central Avenue with a very thick layer of concrete under the asphalt. We weren't aware of that. A lot of times when you do these projects, you don't know what you don't know. So we're going to push through that as hard as we can. They have pulled in additional crews because they understand that we have paving right after this, and we want to go ahead and start that project. So all of the construction work on Tift, you will be seeing that for probably the next month and a half to 2 months, but we hope to wrap that up really soon. And then we'll start our paving.
Okay.
And that's it.
All right, good deal. Excellent. All right, mayor and council comments. Anybody want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first.
Okay, perfect.
Today was my first day of being on the library board. Showed up a little late because I had an emergency that I had to take care of, and showing up late got me put on the finance committee.
That'll teach
So
them.
I'm looking forward to serving on the board. So.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for serving there. We appreciate that. That's good. And the library's doing so much for the
Yeah.
community, so that's exciting.
It's a great bunch of people working together. So I
Well,
was
thank you
excited.
for serving. That's good.
Yeah.
Mr. Franks, you want to go next?
Sure. I just wanted to reiterate what Emily said. It was really neat to see all the people in town. I mean, I guess it's every year, but kind of look at it from a different lens this weekend, and it's neat. And I want to commend ESG because they did a really good job. I rode back by there midday today, and it was already clean.
Clean, yeah.
that's a lot of work in a short period of time, so, y'all are to be commended for that, for
Thank
sure.
you. That's exactly right. Okay.
Oh, go ahead, John.
No, just thanks ESG for the job well done, and just thank you, Hillary, for the job that you're doing downtown. And everything sounded really good, so I just want to tell you, appreciate it.
Yep, just gonna echo the same thing, y'all. Appreciate everybody getting hands-on and this weekend, and look, we had a full house, and, Hillary, I mean, keep going. I like all the excitement downtown.
I'll wrap things up. I completely agree with everything y'all said. The people that we get to work with and the work that they do for this community is just amazing. Over the past few days, I've had the opportunity to participate in the Read Across America programs at the school, and that's always a lot of fun. Kids are really amazing, and they ask some great questions. They always want to know how I got there. Did I fly in? For some reason, they think I fly there, and they always want to know if I know the president. So that's always fun. But it was really fun to be able to do that. They're very engaged in the community. They've got great ideas, and they're the future of what we are. But I want to commend Josh's son. I want you to tell us what he just won, because this was pretty amazing. I want you to share that with everybody.
You're gonna make me cry thinking about it. But my son competed in a wrestling state tournament this past weekend, and he's worked very hard these last 4 years, and he actually won the whole thing this time. So,
But tell about his age competing with and who he's competing with. That's special.
he's 8 years old, and he recently this past year was on the middle school team. So, a third grader wrestling 6th, 7th, and 8th graders, and he went 66-0 for the season. So,
that's amazing.
I don't know if he ever topped that, but he was a lot better wrestler than his daddy was, to say the least.
Well, congratulations to him. So
Thank
that's
you.
that's amazing. All right, good things going on with each of us, it sounds like, and with our community. So that's very exciting. So, any other business we have, Emily? We good? All right, well, then we are adjourned. Thank y'all so much.